On the morning of January 11, 2013, inside the gymnasium of Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia, students stumbled upon a horrifying sight. 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson, a promising young athlete, was found upside down inside a rolled-up gym mat. His face swollen, his body lifeless. Authorities quickly ruled it a tragic accident. But as the days turned to weeks, disturbing questions emerged. Missing evidence, conflicting autopsies, and unanswered questions. This is the story of Kendrick Johnson, the boy whose mysterious death still haunts America. Was it really an accident, or a cover-up? Kendrick Johnson was born on October 10, 1995. Known to friends and family simply as KJ, he was charismatic, athletic, and always smiling. He played multiple sports but dreamed of one day becoming a professional football player. Kendrick wasn't just an athlete. His teachers described him as respectful, driven, and full of potential. To his family, he was the heart of their home, a son, a brother, and a friend who brought joy everywhere he went. But on January 10, 2013, Kendrick left for school like any other day. He never came home. The next morning, his body was discovered in one of the strangest and most unsettling crime scenes America had ever seen. Lowndes High School's old gym. Rows of massive wrestling mats were stacked vertically against one another. At around 10:30 a.m., students noticed something odd. One of the mats looked different. As they got closer, they saw socks sticking out. When they pulled the mat down, they found Kendrick Johnson, upside down, wedged inside headfirst. He was wearing gym clothes. His shoes were nearby, one at the base of the mat, another resting on top of him. His face was unrecognizable, swollen from hours of blood pooling. Panic spread quickly. School officials called 911. Paramedics rushed to the scene but could only pronounce him dead. Later, the official cause of death was ruled positional asphyxia, suffocation caused by being stuck upside down. But the explanation seemed too simple, too convenient. According to investigators, Kendrick must have climbed into the mat while reaching for a pair of sneakers that had fallen inside. The mats were nearly 6 feet tall and Kendrick was 5'10". The theory was that Kendrick leaned in headfirst, got stuck, and couldn't free himself. Slowly, over hours, he suffocated. Authorities declared it a freak accident. Case closed. But almost immediately, people began to question this conclusion. Why would Kendrick, a trained athlete, dive headfirst into a mat to reach for shoes instead of simply tipping it over? Why were there traces of blood near his body, but no explanation for where it came from? And why were security cameras missing critical hours of footage? The more people learned, the less sense the accident explanation made. Kendrick's parents, Kenneth and Jacqueline Johnson, refused to accept the official ruling. They knew their son. They knew he was careful, intelligent, and would never put himself in such a bizarre situation. The family demanded a second autopsy. In June 2013, an independent pathologist examined Kendrick's body. His conclusion? The cause of death was not asphyxia, but blunt force trauma to the right side of the neck. This contradicted the state's autopsy. Suddenly, the possibility of foul play was undeniable. But things only became stranger. During the autopsy, the Johnson family discovered something horrifying. Kendrick's organs, heart, lungs, liver, and more, were missing. In their place, his body had been stuffed with newspaper. The funeral director claimed the organs had been destroyed during the first autopsy and disposed of before embalming. But experts said this explanation was highly unusual and possibly illegal. The Johnson family believed this was part of a cover-up. They filed multiple lawsuits, accusing school officials, law enforcement, and even classmates of conspiracy. They staged protests demanding answers and turned Kendrick's case into a national story. The deeper investigators and journalists dug, the more inconsistencies appeared. Security camera footage. The school had multiple cameras in and around the gym. Yet several crucial hours of footage were missing, including the exact time when Kendrick entered the gym. Police claimed the gaps were due to technical errors. The shoes, authorities said Kendrick was reaching for a pair of sneakers. But his shoes were neatly placed by the mat, not at the bottom as the theory suggested. Even more confusing, another pair of shoes found near his body had blood stains, but the blood did not match Kendrick's DNA. Possible foul play. Some rumors pointed to a conflict between Kendrick and two brothers at the school, sons of an FBI agent. The Johnson family claimed these boys assaulted Kendrick and that their father used his position to shield them. However, the FBI officially denied any wrongdoing. Theories began to spiral. Was Kendrick killed in a fight? Was evidence deliberately destroyed? Did powerful figures silence the truth? One thing was clear: the official story left too many unanswered questions. In 2021, 8 years after Kendrick's death, the case was briefly reopened by a Georgia sheriff. But after reviewing thousands of documents, he concluded there wasn't enough evidence to prove murder. The case was closed, again. To this day, Kendrick Johnson's parents continue their fight for justice. They still believe their son was murdered, and they refuse to stop searching for the truth. For some, Kendrick's death was a tragic accident. For others, it remains one of the clearest examples of a cover-up in recent history. So what really happened to Kendrick Johnson? Was he simply a victim of bad luck? Or is there something darker lurking beneath the surface? Something powerful enough to erase evidence, silence voices, and bury the truth? Until answers come to light, Kendrick's case remains a haunting reminder. Sometimes, even in death, justice is denied. If you found this case as unsettling as we did, consider subscribing for more true crime mysteries every week. And let us know in the comments, do you believe Kendrick's death was an accident or a cover-up?